We're going to do a draft and everybody gets some opinions. See, they tried this on me 7 years ago. I had a drop 60 plan before these guys existed, so we've never had an issue. Mine's always worked good, and my customers really respond. I can go on the stage too.
Calling to order the Hayes Trinity Groundwater Conservation District meeting at 6:05 Monday, May 9th, 2011, at the Wimberley Community Center. Rick, roll call, please.
Jimmy?
Here.
Mark?
Here.
Joanne?
Here.
Greg? Here. David?
All right, review of board meeting protocol. If you want to speak, please fill out one of these forms and bring it to us, and we'll let you speak 3 minutes on just any item in the public comments, or if you want to speak about a specific agenda item, we'll do that when that comes up. General comments from board staff with no discussion or possible action. Anybody have anything?
Oh, I have an announcement, David.
This would be the time to say it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
just general, just general.
Okay.
Unless it's on the-
We are going to have a prayer for rain on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock down on Cypress Creek near the near the what?
Isn't it down from Deer Creek?
No, this is going to be in town. It's going to be right in town, right behind I-Notes.
The Cypress Creek Bridge there in town?
Right. Well, no, it's going to be down in the park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we're going to, it should be very nice and interesting.
That's it?
That's
Anything? Anything?
If the board could, if you haven't already, fill one of these out and get it back to me. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mark, get that.
I gave my two also.
Comments, all right, anything else? Public comments concerning non-agenda items, 3 minutes each. Jack Holland. If you come up right up here where they can, the videotape will see you.
Okay.
Hello.
Sorry about here.
Go ahead, I can do that.
I think we can come here.
That's true, you may not need that.
I just wanted to mention that I went online just a few minutes ago to check the flow at the Blanco and the Jacobs Well, and there's an error in the data we're getting for Jacobs Well. It has been there for about a week or so, and it reports today as 7.4 CFS.
I saw that yesterday.
And back in April, it was below 1 CFS. We haven't had any rain since then, and the creek has just about stopped flowing. And I had a call from Scott Johnson. He saw that. Anyway, so I called one of the geologists that's working on that system, and they're gonna address that. But I just wanted to know, I don't think that's one of our major triggers.
It's not a trigger.
No, but it's
on
something.
there.
It's something we look at.
Absolutely.
Right. And the well is essentially it's down in below the 1 CFS range right now. So you can't see anything.
Is that a USGS and water in there?
We really can't
Yeah.
discuss back and forth during this.
Flow at the Blanco at 4:45 p.m. was 21 CFS. That compares with a median for this date for the 80-something years they've got data on that is 86. So this time of year you expect the Blanco to usually be gentle on pretty good. The average flow would even be bigger than 168. That averages in all the floods and everything. So I just wanted to report that, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else for public comment? John Kyle.
Hello, my name is John Cobb, and I'm here representing myself, no one else. I just have to state for the record that 2 weeks ago in Commissioners Court, there was a former board member from this board went to Commissioners Court and lied in open court to a question that was asked. And the reason I know that it was a lie is because several years ago, I presented evidence to every board member, packets to each member, it cost me $500. And it was a gentleman that's wasting water in my part of the county. And he happens to be a huge Democratic supporter. Obama stays in his house when he comes to town. And this man is wasting more water than anybody else in the county. I have photographs of it. If somebody would like to see them, give me your email and I'll send them to you. What this man is doing with water is unconscionable. And every board member on the previous board knew about it. And every one of them chose to do nothing about it. And for them to say anything else is an absolute lie. And I'd just like to point out the hypocrisy. These people that are so concerned, but when it's a Democratic supporter, they all of a sudden lose their concern. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment?
Mr. Chairman, may I make a comment, respond to his?
Y'all can in a little while, y'all can talk amongst yourselves, I'm gonna get in the middle of this match. Y'all can work that out amongst yourselves.
Well, he's talking about actions of former board members, and that was not, his comment was not the thing that we were addressing in the Commissioner's Court. I did address some waste issues, but they weren't that.
Actually, if we're going to
No, I'm
contest this, he
sorry,
was asked specifically
no,
about this
I'm
issue.
gonna stop it now, I'm sorry, y'all can go outside, y'all can discuss it, whatever, I'm not gonna get in the middle of this
Okay.
argument.
We talked about
Any other public comments? All right, agenda item 1. Item 1, drought alarm stage. We have one comment on that. Roger,
Oh, right. Do I get to go first?
you're the only one, I believe.
Oh,
First and last.
so be it then.
You'd like someone else to speak in front of you, I can ask, anybody else want to speak on this issue?
Well, I didn't know if I was going to wait till the board had spoken and then say...
That's, if you'd like to, I'm okay with that, we can wait.
I can stick my neck out.
Go for it.
Mr. Chair, fellow board members, thank you very much for giving up your time to be here tonight. My name is Roger Q. I am the operator and manager of Radiance Water Supply Corporation, which is governed by the district. And I think I'd just like to make some general comments very quickly, because I know I haven't got much time, about our reaction to the drought and how the board in the past has set up these certain conditions that the current board might want to review and reevaluate, because things are always changing. I think that we need to conserve water, but I think we need to go beyond the knee-jerk reaction, the tables go up and down, and we need to kind of foster this attitude within our community that there isn't a scarcity. This isn't something that's scary. It's just nature in the hill country. Water increases and decreases. But I feel the most important thing that we need to do is foster the idea that there is an abundance. There is an abundance within our community, but it's the prudent way to behave, to be coming from a place of gratitude for what is here, and to think of how we can always use the resource wisely. It's something that goes beyond the drought stage and the drought time, to having a mental attitude within our community that really appreciates this God-given gift of water that's beautiful and freely available for us. And so how can we appreciate that and work throughout the entire year to show our gratitude and to use it in the wisest and most prudent way? And so whatever we do now, I would urge you would be towards that goal. I have a very small water system, and our water usage is extremely small by compared to some of our neighbours. And when you asked us to reduce our water usage by 20%, for someone who uses 1,400 gallons a month, and now you want me to ask them to cut back 20%, I don't know that that's really fair when there are those who use 19,000, 20,000, 35,000 gallons a month, not in my community, but in those around me. And then for them to cut back 20% would be less than that person uses in an entire month. So I feel there needs to be some balance here in how the rules are applied. And also, I would urge the board not to get into the position of mandating how the water systems actually come up with that cutback. And I bring the board's attention to point number 5, which says request is a good word. The outside water usage to the following schedule. Well, if it's a request, then that isn't a requirement. And if we use these as a way of giving guidance, but not as a way of if you fall foul of this, then you're going to be punished. We don't have the staff to be able to go out and mandate, to monitor this in a fair and equitable way. And I feel it's very unhealthy in our communities to set up a situation where one neighbour is required to spy upon another. That's very petty and it's demeaning. By giving the responsibility to the water providers, we want you to reduce your water down to a certain amount, and then how you go about doing that is your responsibility. This would take a lot of the pressure off of the staff in the district. So you merely say to a water system, whether it's Dripping Springs, Wimberley, Wood Creek, Radiance Water Supply, it's your responsibility to see that you operate within these guidelines.
Sorry.
That's okay, I was glad for the commendation.
I've got you in 3 minutes. and
Okay.
I may call on you when we start discussing ourselves.
Thank you very much, President.
Kind of see where you're going with this.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone.
Anybody else?
I didn't fill one out, but I have something, do I need, you want me to fill one?
Sorry, come on.
We're informal.
Just state your name, Michelle.
Sure. My name's Rick Bell, and I'm with Campion Judea. You're asking me, it's a little bit further down the agenda, but I figured I'd say it now. I run a summer camp. So obviously, in the off-season, we don't have anybody there for 3 months. And then in our summer months, we're gonna triple our usage. So you're asking me to cut it 20%. Well, you're asking throughout the whole year to cut it, or are you asking me for those 3 months to cut it? So that's my concern with that, because I'm a summer camp. I run Campion Judea again. So I have issues with cutting my water 20% because I can't cut my water 20% over those summer months. Now, we don't use too much water in the winter months, and we have groups every weekend, more or less throughout the year. But our summer months, we have 500 people there.
Plus
For
500
solid,
500 showers or just.
yes, for a solid, 2.5 months. And then we also, that's also our busy season as well for, groups come in for a week instead of a weekend, they might be there for the whole week.
Can you explain to everybody, that they're...
Dr. Turner, let me let him go ahead and finish his 3 minutes, then once we open it up, we can talk, ask him some questions.
Okay, well, that's basically what I wanted to, that's why I'm here today.
Okay.
And that's basically what I want to say, is that I'm a summer camp. It's pretty tough for me to cut my water usage 20%. I mean, we have irrigation systems as well for our fields, and we're also a business, so we want to look as our grass is green and everything else as nice as possible, because that's how we generate our business as well. So that's the issues I have, and that's all I wanted to say, and that's why I'm here today.
Yeah, if you're here when we go over this, we may call on you, because I understand your concern. I'm not
Okay.
sure we do.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, let's open the item. Anybody want to make a motion to put us in drought alarm stage?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All right. Let's open up for discussion. Any discussion on why we shouldn't? Roger seemed to have a pretty good question, so the fellow from Camp Judea, they have very good questions, but how do we address them without our rules?
I remember 2 years ago, Roger made the exact same argument, and what hit home was, how do you tell somebody using 75 or 100 gallons of water a day you gotta cut back, we've got other people that are really using, 500, 1,000 gallons a day.
It's
I don't know, I don't know how we.
yeah, that's a tough spot. I mean, I don't, do we,
I don't know if our rules allow it.
Can we modify this, or is it gotta be just this?
now we gotta work on the rules.
It's supposed to like this, but we can.
Jimmy, can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
Are we combining, this drought trigger with agenda 3 item here? In some way, shape, or form that y'all are talking about?
Where's agenda 3 at?
Well, I'm talking about the third thing on the third stage. I mean, y'all are, well, I guess what I'm saying is we were talking about the 20% reduction and y'all are going into alarm stage.
Right, once we
With
go
the
in,
plan that y'all have right now?
that's what we're talking, yes, sir.
Okay.
So once we go into this order, it then is going to come back on the 20%.
Okay. That's already in y'all's plan. Is y'all's plan online? On the copy of y'all's draft
Draft
plan?
contingency plan, yeah. It's also in your permit.
It's on permit too. Okay.
And that's what we're trying to figure out now. If you do it like our rules say, it may
Convert these.
penalize somebody who had used water. But then if you don't do that, then you're gonna have your neighbors saying, why are you watering grass when no one else is, and we have to conserve water.
Sir, what's your permit for? Do you know, top of your head?
Public water?
Yeah, your permit number.
Acre feet.
Acre feet, yes.
How much you're allowed?
I don't have that with me.
We don't have it either. But, I mean, I see what he's saying. He may be, when 500 people show up at his place, kids to do whatever they're gonna do.
And again, that's why I say, no, we averaging it throughout the year, because I would, for November, December,
Then
January,
you're okay.
we don't have anybody out there. Maybe a couple weekends out of that month we might, or out of those months we do, but obviously this is our busy season, and
Is that, I guess a thought, and I don't know if this can be fixed now, this is just a thought. When someone who's seasonal like that, when they apply for a permit, can we,
It's not a season program.
well, okay,
He even said that the people come in on a weekend,
Well-
another week.
well, wait a minute, a yearly permit. But the number that we should be working off of would probably be his high season number. I mean, but the problem is our rules don't address that. We're kind of in a hard spot here, because we're looking at a snapshot a whole year. We should be looking at a snapshot of not 3 months.
We can't stick everyone in the same, we can't have different permits for different
Right.
people.
Yeah, I just don't know how to get around
It's
it.
a tough situation, and if you want my opinion,
Yes.
But I'd like to know how much,
Yeah, I would like your.
Yeah, what's,
the drought affects everybody. We all have to work together to work through this. I realize that this drought stage is a 20% cut back, and it's hard for different groups to meet it equally. I think it's important that you cut back 20% over your entire permit. The drought's not gonna end in 3 months. It's probably gonna be a lot longer than that. It may carry us through the end of the year, I don't know. But if you can cut back 20% on your whole entire permit, I think that's a move in the right direction. If you come back and say one weekend you're not gonna service people, I don't know, I don't wanna tell you what to do. It's up to permit holders to defend the water, if you will. Everybody has to share it. Let's all work together and figure this out. I think that's the answer.
Can you notify everybody that comes to camp, to limit showers, and if there is a drought on, and if this is very severe, where is your camp located?
Wood Creek.
At Wood Creek. You had some leaks fixed to the pipes.
is that
That
how
help.
many acres?
He's on
200.
Oh,
200
you're
acres.
on well.
You've got one service well, 200 acres.
Well, we only have 60 acres that has actually cabins and stuff on. We have another side on the other side of the creek, 23-25 side, that we don't have any
I'm
water.
saying you got 200 acres that's got no real use. You've got one well drawing for the 60.
That's correct.
So it's not, you got a big chunk of land, don't get that.
Yes.
And so it's not, I mean, I see your point.
I see his point 100%, but I also see everybody else's point when they look at it and go, wait a minute, we need to conserve right now. I'm not saying you can't conserve. I think you can. I think there's some things you could do, as simple as what Dr. Jernigan said, a sign in the shower, we're in a drought, please help us conserve our limited resource.
Well, no, I'd certainly be more than happy to do something like that, but you gotta realize we're dealing with second graders to 10th graders.
No, I understand,
So,
but
I
it
mean,
does,
I'll do
anything,
any precaution, whatever it is, that I've gotta go to every cabin and post signs out on every cabins, I'll have meetings, I'll do whatever it takes to do that, but, I mean, it's just, this is kind of hard for me, being I'm a summer camp, and that's how I make my living.
right, and I understand that, but it's one of those catch-22s when you're in this area.
Right.
I mean, we,
Well, I know we're supposed to be speaking out now, but what occurred to me is that Dr. Jernigan was, education is a big thing. And I am a Wimberley outdoor educator. And we just had 5th graders up at Jacob's Well. Wonderful lesson on how much usage a shower, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and so forth. This would be a great learning opportunity for your students, so to speak, because water is an issue all over Texas, even in Houston, which I think a lot of them come from Houston. I mean, they're selling cattle on our land right, west of Houston because of the drought. So I would think this would be a good
I do too.
opportunity, educational thing. Maybe you could go out and talk to whoever does plans your programs, and that could be added on. I think it would be a really good time.
I personally think that at least what I'm looking for is a conscious effort, that you're trying, and not a slap in our face of, I don't have to, I'm a summer camp, I can do what I want to do, this is when my busy time is. More of, I'm a summer camp, I make money off these children, I need children here to fill my camp, but I also need to make sure we have water so they will come back. Because if it stops flowing, your summer camp's not going to be worth very much.
Get bad reviews online.
So,
no, I mean,
So-
I'm not
I guess that's
arguing
what-
any of your points here.
right, I'm
here
just
to
saying,
help you,
I think if
but-
you can help us, we'll try to help you, and we can all hopefully get to the same thing.
We're
No, I'm-
really going to have to start thinking differently, though. I'm thinking about putting gravel in my yard.
Soccer on a gravel field's not the funnest thing going. Your children, it was a tough camp. Tough camp there, wasn't it?
And when you're washing that blood off the shower, you got 30 seconds.
The baseball field was not fun at all this year.
But you can use things like ground granite and things like that that are really attractive. And I know, it's very difficult to try to make grounds. I mean, it's been a real struggle all spring long to try to make the grounds look nice. So it's, we're all really in this together.
Roger, go ahead.
Thank you, President Skipton. First, I'd like to say I really appreciate Mr. Bell's situation.
Roger, come over here so we can see you, so the camera can at least see us, so we have a video, please.
That I'm looking at. I appreciate Mr. Bell's situation, especially with the need for getting some grass growing, because I've run camps myself. And if you start off at a deficit, then we know by the end of the camp the grass is going to be destroyed, you're going to be left with this much stubble, and you'll be lucky if you've got that. So starting off the summer with dead grass, you're going to lose a lot of your soil, and so I completely understand and support the need to have your grass production up